Hello everybody, welcome to our lovely Fleurs festive collection. Now this is our educational video for the holly. Now the dies for the holly and the crepe paper you will have already got, and maybe you've even got the little polystyrene 1.5 centimetre little balls as well. So let's go to the boards and actually show you all about what the holly is. So here we have all our different sizes. Now this particular die is a nested one, so we've got so many sizes for you to be able to play with. So think about all your home decor and your Christmas decorations, those wreaths. So you might only want little ones, so obviously when the holly is growing, you've got the smaller shoots, the smaller leaves. We've got the lovely little berries. Okay, so you can use these if you want to and cut those out of your coloured cardstock, maybe white or red, and you can even use them on your other berries if you wanted to, on your other collections. So here we have our nested sizes. Then we go a little bit bigger. Okay, look at this one. Now this is actually going to make a fabulous wreath. When you think about the really big door wreaths and whatever, they're going to look incredible because you can get quite big ones now, can't you? So that is actually the die set, all nested. You do get the little berries, but like I said, which are these two, you can actually use the little foam balls. Now let me just bring in, here's a little show and tell. Let me just take this out. I have, when I'm working with my fleurs, I've got myself a little bit of cut off of a polystyrene, okay, or plastic or whatever this is. And it helps me when I'm actually making my fleurs. I make my flowers and I just stick them all in here like so. So to actually make my berries on this one, because I've used a little bit bigger leaf and I wanted a full poppy actual berry, I've opted to use our polystyrene balls, which come in these little packets. So this is what they're like when they arrive, little sealed packets. So that's what you will have got that you would have purchased. And this is what they look like painted. Now what I actually did was I got a paintbrush, I got a little bit of cut and use and actually dipped in and just went round. These haven't been covered with paper or anything. I have literally just used our lovely Cadence paint straight onto the polystyrene. Okay, so that's where I've got my lovely berries from. So that's the first thing. Then I've got all my lovely holly leaves. Now one thing when I'm making holly leaves and something like this, I always want the wire from tip to tip, okay? I don't, because that way it allows me to be able to manipulate these. So one of the tips that I always do is, when you're working with something like this, you can use a process that's called laminating. And all that means, just a posh word, is sticking one piece of crepe paper to another. Now, one of the techniques that you can actually use in this is changing the colourway so you get an ombre effect. So you could change the actual one, so you stick in a double-sided, you're making a double-sided paper. So you'd have a light colour on one side and a dark colour on the other. But again, those are all things that we're going to work forward in our videos. But for this one, it works beautifully. And I like to do this because I don't think of it as wasting it. I think of it, it looks professional because there's no wires showing. We've hidden them all. So first of all, I've got my actual pieces. And I've made sure I've got enough like so. So everything's in twos. I've got an odd one. Oh no, I have got two. And that way I can actually glue the stem into the middle to hide it. So let's build on that first. So again, I'm using my wet glue and I'm going to pop my stem, little bead of glue right down the middle. And pop my stem down the middle. And again, this is a super way of then being able to manipulate your actual holly. So you're the one that's in control of what it looks like. And then a little bit of glue around the edges. Spread it out a little bit. Obviously we're capturing it in the middle as well. flip that over, line it up on top and seal that down. And so there's no actual wire showing then with that. So that makes it look really clean and professional. So now if I wanted to, I can actually manipulate that and move it. But that is my first of my actual petals on there. So I need my wires, and I don't use one whole wire. So I've got quite a long one there. The next one, I'm actually going to snip it with my wire cutters about there. Okay. And again, I'll speed the process up, pop that in the middle, because we like to show you when we do the education from start to finish, because by skipping bits and pieces and going to the next bit and the next bit, there may be something that you think, well, how have they got there? And I don't want it to be the case. So that one then sandwiches on there. So remember, we've got our wire, but it's shorter. Okay, so now I've got another one. And again, the wire is going to be a short wire. We don't need the really long wire. This onto here. Pop that on there. So you can see how quick the leaves are building. So yeah, I'm going to get away with that one. And we've already done the berries, remember. The berries are sat to one side waiting. That is going to go, whoops, on top. And the dies have done all the work for us here, because we know each one of these is absolutely going to work and fit. So around the edge, I'm just going to speed it up. Whoops. Pop that one on there. And this is where you actually need to look after your wires, okay? So to be able to do this technique and make your leaves, you need to look after your wires, because you need to keep them straight. Don't go bending them to put them in a bag. So again, this one, I don't need a great long piece. So now this is my last one. And we can then build this together. And it's super easy. Once you've done all your cutting out, and you're working with the grain again. So as you can see, put the wire in. When we actually place the die on our crepe paper, we're again working with the grain. So this is beautiful green, really gorgeous festive green that we've got going on. Oops. And you open it up, and your crepe paper has got the grain, and we're going to work with it vertically, and we're also going to work with our holly vertically. So that's how we're going to cut it out. Okay, we're going to cut it vertically, but you just cut as many as you need. And like I said, I always do it that I do it in twos. That way I've got the versatility and control of being able to shape right down to the tip. So I go from tip to tip with the wire. Now, as you've seen, I've got the long wire here, and I've got others. Now, to be able to wire this, if you haven't got floristry tape, you can just use your crepe paper, because again, by using the same colour, it'll work beautifully for you. A little bit of glue all the way along the edge. And remember, we've still got the berries. So I'm now working with that long one at the beginning. I'm going to take my paper, and because we've got this beautiful paper stem, once we've got it going and started to wrap, so I'm pinching it at the top and I'm going to wrap that around like so, okay? And then start to roll. Then what I can do is when I come to the next one, I'm going to pop that on. So this is why you don't want lots and lots of wires. And then roll. And the next one that's a short wire, I'm going to pop that on, capture the wire and start rolling. Then we've got a few bigger ones. So when we get to that wire, slide that one on and roll. The next one, pop that up to where we've got to, wind that paper and roll it on. And then the final one, put that on there and roll that on. And then what I've got left is just need to pop a little bit more glue on there to make sure it's secure. And roll that. Even if it breaks, it doesn't matter because you can add it back on, look. And it's same with your tape. Okay, and that has now made me my holly branch. So now I can pull all these out. Okay, like so. So I've got the smaller ones and the bigger ones. So that makes my holly branch, which is lovely. But you can't have holly without your berries. So exactly the same thing again. You can use your Fleurs tape if you want to. But this is just as quick and easy. Like that. Run it all the way down. And then we just create a little bunch of all of those. And then just twist. So all those little short wires have come together. And because we've done it like that, each one you can manipulate and actually change where your shape is going to be. Okay. And again, we've got the same process. So just add on the paper, wrap it round, let the glue start taking to the paper that's already on there. Wind that on like so. But then what you can do is break that off. You can add this on. I'm just going to move the leaf out of the way and wrap the berry onto here, like so. Then move that one like that. That then, once you've put all your leaves out, we're going to manipulate all our leaves like so. Just like that. And that one, got a little bit of glue on there. Pull our berries like that. That's then our lovely holly branch.
If you want to see more from Highlight Crafts, make sure you click the like button. Subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below and click the bell icon to receive notifications of all of our future content. You can also click here to see our latest video or click here to see more videos like this one.